My beloved child, listen closely, for the season of restoration has come. It does not arrive with peals of thunder or a raging wind, but softly like morning dew, resting on the leaves like the gentle breath of a waking dawn. For years you have walked through days that seemed meaningless. You have carried confusion in your heart when what you trusted appeared to shatter, when your prayers seemed unanswered, and when the darkness looked as though it had swallowed every fragile hope that remained. But my child, understand this. I have never left, and I have never been silent. Every silence of mine carries purpose, and every waiting season is pregnant with life. Restoration does not begin with noise, but with quiet, where your soul settles enough to hear my voice. I have seen you through long nights of tears, when you tried to smile to hide the wounds no one could see. I was there when you trembled before choices you did not want to make, when you looked back at the crossroads of your life and wondered whether I still remembered you. My child, I was there in every second you thought was empty, in every pause that seemed hopeless. Not a single tear of yours is meaningless. Not one whispered cry is forgotten. I have kept each one like a seed of faith, so that when the time comes, they will blossom in the garden of restoration I am tending. Often you have thought that what was lost would never return. You believed the years ravaged by the enemy had closed beyond redemption. But my child, I am the God of restoration. Joel 2:5 says, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. And I have kept that word. I can accomplish in a moment what people strive for a lifetime to obtain. I can breathe life into dry bones and cause them to live, as I did in Ezekiel's valley. You thought the ashes were only memories, but I am using those very ashes to fashion a new beauty. You thought failure had ended everything, but in truth, it has only begun the work I am building within you. You have asked me, why must I bear so much pain, my child? Because I am teaching you that true strength is not in never breaking, but in rising after you have broken. I have allowed you to pass through the storm, not to destroy you, but to refine you. I have allowed you to meet silence, not to abandon you, but to help you hear my voice more clearly. You tried to hold on to things that seemed secure, but only when everything fell apart did you see the one thing that remained unshaken, me, and that is the foundation of restoration. Restoration does not begin when everything returns to what it was. Restoration begins when you realize that I am enough. I know there are things you wish you could do over mistakes you regret, relationships you have lost, dreams that seem to have died. But my child, I am the one who brings back what has been lost. I can call by name what has died and bring it to life. As Jesus cried, Lazarus, come out, and the dead man walked from the tomb, so I am calling the part of your soul that has grown dim. I do not merely want to heal you. I want to restore you fully, wholly, and more deeply than before. Do not be afraid when I begin to shake what you thought was settled. Every trembling is a sign of renewal. When I created the heavens and the earth, I allowed darkness to exist before I spoke light. So do not panic when I lead you through shadowed days. This is not a sign of my withdrawal, but the preparation for resurrection light. You are being shaped in my hands like clay in the potter's grasp. Every crack, every rough edge, every fragment, I see them all, and I am forming them into a new design. My beloved child, do not rush to rebuild the old. I am not calling you back to where you were. I am leading you to where you have not yet been. What I am preparing for you is not like what you have known. You cannot carry an old mindset into a new season. Let go. Letting go is not defeat. It is your declaration of trust in me. When Abraham left his homeland at my word, he did not know where he was going, yet he stepped out, and that faith made him the father of many nations. In the same way, when you dare to trust me in the fog, you are stepping into your own promised land. I know you are weary. I know there are days you wish you could simply stop. But my child, I have never left this journey. I have walked with you through the valley of the shadow of death, and now I am leading you to green pastures. Let the past lie down and sleep. Let those who cannot walk with you remain behind. Some people are placed in your life only for a season, and that season has passed. Allow me to bring you into a new season, a season of peace, of beginnings, of a new song upon your lips. Restoration is not a return to the starting point, it is a rise to a higher place. I do not merely patch torn fabric. I weave a new garment from the very threads of old wounds. Every pain you have borne is a witness to my grace. Every collapse has become a testimony to my faithfulness. And when you look back, you will see that former wounds no longer hurt, they have become the marks of victory. As David sang, "You turned my mourning into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy." My child, do not fear what you do not understand. Do not panic when I dismantle what you once considered foundational. Everything I remove has a reason. When I prune, it is not to strip you, but to make you fruitful. The vine cannot bear fruit unless it is pruned. Likewise, you cannot live fully if you cling to what has withered. Trust me. I am cutting away the old to make room for the new. In this season, I am not only healing your body or your emotions, I am healing your perception. True restoration begins in the mind. When you stop viewing yourself through the lens of the past, when you cease defining yourself by mistakes or failures, you will begin to see yourself as I see you. And I see you as beautiful, strong, and more valuable than you have ever imagined. You are not broken beyond repair, you are being remade. You are not rejected, you are chosen. Therefore, my child, open your heart. Do not only ask me to change your circumstances, allow me to change you. When you are transformed, everything around you will also shift. I do not intend merely to mend your old life. I intend to give you a new one, deeper, truer, and more radiant. Believe that your best days are not behind you, they are just ahead. The season of restoration has begun. Even if you cannot feel it all, I am working in silence. Walk each day with small, steadfast faith. Believe that the fragments are being joined, the promises are taking shape, and the future is budding within you like a garden on the verge of bloom. Do not fear the past. Do not doubt the present. Do not shrink from the future. Fix your eyes on me, for I am the beginning, the process, and the completion of your restoration. I am the one who heals broken souls, who rebuilds fallen walls, who makes water flow through barren deserts. And my child, I will do this for you, not at another time, not in another place, but here and now within your very heart. For this is the season of restoration, the season of light, of peace, of rebirth. And I, the Lord your God, am declaring, behold, I am making all things new. My beloved child, the restoration I am working on is not something your eyes can immediately see. It is quiet, gradual, yet enduring, like a seed resting deep within the soil, hidden in darkness, seeming lost yet silently preparing to rise. I know you have longed for a dramatic miracle, a visible sign that I am at work. But my child, I do not need thunder to prove my power. I only need a heart that knows how to be still and trust. For the greatest miracles always begin in silence, where you cease striving, so that I may begin to move. There are seasons when I allow everything around you to grow, still not to punish, but to teach you how to hear with spiritual ears. When the noise of the world fades, your soul begins to discern the echo of life that I am awakening. Every loneliness, every emptiness, every moment you feel left behind, these are the spaces I create for you to find me. Restoration is not about adding more. It begins with clearing away. I must remove what does not belong to you, so that you can return to the form I originally designed. Do you remember the first time you believed in me? Your heart was simple then, without calculation, full of surrender. But as life went on, you became cautious. You began to measure faith by results. And when results did not come, you assumed I had forgotten. Yet my child, faith is never defined by sight. Hebrews 1:1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped, for the evidence of things not seen. It is precisely in the unseen that true faith is born. And it is when you stop trying to control that I begin to restore. My restoration does not only alter circumstances, it resurrects the soul. I do not merely touch what is outward, but I reach the depths where you have hidden old wounds. There are pains you have never spoken, memories you thought were gone, yet they still quietly drain your strength. I see them all. I see the places in your heart that once shattered, and I am going there not to reopen the past, but to heal it. I am not afraid of your darkness, nor repelled by your shame. It is precisely there that I desire to shine my light. My child, do not block me with the walls you have built to protect yourself. You do not need to be strong before me. You do not need to pretend to be fine. Let me see your tears, for in those tears I see the part of your soul that longs to live again. Let me touch the place where you hurt, for only when I touch it can the wound truly heal. You have tried to mend yourself by burying the pain, by keeping busy, by smiling through it, but none of those bring peace. Only when you let go, only when you whisper, I need, you will, my restorative power flow freely. I am replacing fear with peace. I am trading shame for honor. I am turning loss into purpose. And you will see little by little the burdens upon your shoulders begin to lift. The things that once made you weep will become testimonies of grace. The memories that once broke you will transform into declarations of victory. For restoration does not mean forgetting, it means being healed so deeply that the memory no longer wounds. You have asked me, how can I believe that good will come again when I have been disappointed so many times? My child, remember the spring that follows winter. There is no death without the promise of life, no ending that does not conceal a beginning. What seems to vanish is only making room for what is new. When I say be restored, it is not a suggestion, it is a creative command. Just as when I said, let there be light, and light came forth, so when I declare, you will be healed, all creation aligns to fulfill that word. You may not realize that what you are enduring is the very foundation for coming grace. When you lose, I am teaching you the value of what is true. When you are rejected, I am removing you from what is unworthy of you. When you feel alone, I am calling you back into intimate fellowship with me. And when you feel forgotten, I am hiding you not to abandon but to prepare. Restoration takes time, because what I am building in you must endure through every season. Let me lead you through this process. Do not rush it. I do not wish to heal the surface alone. I am restoring the roots. A house cannot stand unless its foundation is secure. Likewise, your soul cannot live freely if deep wounds remain buried. That is why I am working deeper than you realize. Every time you feel heavy, I am lifting away the old. Every time you feel weak, my strength fills you. Every time you feel empty, I am making space for the new abundance. I do not measure you by success or failure, but by willingness. I do not demand perfection. I ask for faithfulness, faithful to trust me amid confusion, faithful to pray through silence, faithful to walk when you cannot see the path. It is this faithfulness that becomes the material I use to build your season of restoration. For my beloved child, listen closely, for the season of restoration has come. It does not arrive with peals of thunder or a raging wind, but softly like morning dew, resting on the leaves like the gentle breath of a waking dawn. For years you have walked through days that seemed meaningless. You have carried confusion in your heart when what you trusted appeared to shatter, when your prayers seemed unanswered, and when the darkness looked as though it had swallowed every fragile hope that remained. But my child, understand this. I have never left, and I have never been silent. Every silence of mine carries purpose, and every waiting season is pregnant with life. Restoration does not begin with noise, but with quiet, where your soul settles enough to hear my voice. I have seen you through long nights of tears, when you tried to smile to hide the wounds no one could see. I was there when you trembled before choices you did not want to make, when you looked back at the crossroads of your life and wondered whether I still remembered you. My child, I was there in every second you thought was empty, in every pause that seemed hopeless. Not a single tear of yours is meaningless. Not one whispered cry is forgotten. I have kept each one like a seed of faith, so that when the time comes, they will blossom in the garden of restoration I am tending. Often you have thought that what was lost would never return. You believed the years ravaged by the enemy had closed beyond redemption. But my child, I am the God of restoration. Joel 2:5 says, I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. And I have kept that word. I can accomplish in a moment what people strive for a lifetime to obtain. I can breathe life into dry bones and cause them to live as I did in Ezekiel's valley. You thought the ashes were only memories, but I am using those very ashes to fashion a new beauty. You thought failure had ended everything, but in truth, it has only begun the work I am building within you. You have asked me, why must I bear so much pain, my child? Because I am teaching you that true strength is not in never breaking, but in rising after you have broken. I have allowed you to pass through the storm not to destroy you, but to refine you. I have allowed you to meet silence not to abandon you, but to help you hear my voice more clearly. You tried to hold on to things that seemed secure, but only when everything fell apart did you see the one thing that remained unshaken, me, and that is the foundation of restoration. Restoration does not begin when everything returns to what it was. Restoration begins when you realize that I am enough. I know there are things you wish you could do over mistakes you regret, relationships you have lost, dreams that seem to have died. But my child, I am the one who brings back what has been lost. I can call by name what has died and bring it to life. As Jesus cried, Lazarus, come out, and the dead man walked from the tomb, so I am calling the part of your soul that has grown dim. I do not merely want to heal you. I want to restore you fully, wholly, and more deeply than before. Do not be afraid when I begin to shake what you thought was settled. Every trembling is a sign of renewal. When I created the heavens and the earth, I allowed darkness to exist before I spoke light. So do not panic when I lead you through shadowed days. This is not a sign of my withdrawal, but the preparation for resurrection light. You are being shaped in my hands like clay in the potter's grasp. Every crack, every rough edge, every fragment, I see them all, and I am forming them into a new design. My beloved child, do not rush to rebuild the old. I am not calling you back to where you were. I am leading you to where you have not yet been. What I am preparing for you is not like what you have known. You cannot carry an old mindset into a new season. Let go. Letting go is not defeat. It is your declaration of trust in me. When Abraham left his homeland at my word, he did not know where he was going, yet he stepped out, and that faith made him the father of many nations. In the same way, when you dare to trust me in the fog, you are stepping into your own promised land. I know you are weary. I know there are days you wish you could simply stop. But my child, I have never left this journey. I have walked with you through the valley of the shadow of death, and now I am leading you to green pastures. Let the past lie down and sleep. Let those who cannot walk with you remain behind. Some people are placed in your life only for a season, and that season has passed. Allow me to bring you into a new season, a season of peace, of beginnings, of a new song upon your lips. Restoration is not a return to the starting point, it is a rise to a higher place. I do not merely patch torn fabric. I weave a new garment from the very threads of old wounds. Every pain you have borne is a witness to my grace. Every collapse has become a testimony to my faithfulness. And when you look back, you will see that former wounds no longer hurt, they have become the marks of victory. As David sang, "You turned my mourning into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy." My child, do not fear what you do not understand. Do not panic when I dismantle what you once considered foundational. Everything I remove has a reason. When I prune, it is not to strip you, but to make you fruitful. The vine cannot bear fruit unless it is pruned. Likewise, you cannot live fully if you cling to what has withered. Trust me. I am cutting away the old to make room for the new. In this season, I am not only healing your body or your emotions, I am healing your perception. True restoration begins in the mind. When you stop viewing yourself through the lens of the past, when you cease defining yourself by mistakes or failures, you will begin to see yourself as I see you. And I see you as beautiful, strong, and more valuable than you have ever imagined. You are not broken beyond repair, you are being remade. You are not rejected, you are chosen. Therefore, my child, open your heart. Do not only ask me to change your circumstances, allow me to change you. When you are transformed, everything around you will also shift. I do not intend merely to mend your old life. I intend to give you a new one, deeper, truer, and more radiant. Believe that your best days are not behind you, they are just ahead. The season of restoration has begun. Even if you cannot feel it all, I am working in silence. Walk each day with small, steadfast faith. Believe that the fragments are being joined, the promises are taking shape, and the future is budding within you like a garden on the verge of bloom. Do not fear the past. Do not doubt the present. Do not shrink from the future. Fix your eyes on me, for I am the beginning, the process, and the completion of your restoration. I am the one who heals broken souls, who rebuilds fallen walls, who makes water flow through barren deserts. And my child, I will do this for you, not at another time, not in another place, but here and now within your very heart. For this is the season of restoration, the season of light, of peace, of rebirth. And I, the Lord your God, am declaring, behold, I am making all things new. My beloved child, the restoration I am working on is not something your eyes can immediately see. It is quiet, gradual, yet enduring, like a seed resting deep within the soil, hidden in darkness, seeming lost yet silently preparing to rise. I know you have longed for a dramatic miracle, a visible sign that I am at work. But my child, I do not need thunder to prove my power. I only need a heart that knows how to be still and trust. For the greatest miracles always begin in silence, where you cease striving, so that I may begin to move. There are seasons when I allow everything around you to grow, still not to punish, but to teach you how to hear with spiritual ears. When the noise of the world fades, your soul begins to discern the echo of life that I am awakening. Every loneliness, every emptiness, every moment you feel left behind, these are the spaces I create for you to find me. Restoration is not about adding more. It begins with clearing away. I must remove what does not belong to you, so that you can return to the form I originally designed. Do you remember the first time you believed in me? Your heart was simple then, without calculation, full of surrender. But as life went on, you became cautious. You began to measure faith by results. And when results did not come, you assumed I had forgotten. Yet my child, faith is never defined by sight. Hebrews 1:1 says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped, for the evidence of things not seen. It is precisely in the unseen that true faith is born. And it is when you stop trying to control that I begin to restore. My restoration does not only alter circumstances, it resurrects the soul. I do not merely touch what is outward, but I reach the depths where you have hidden old wounds. There are pains you have never spoken, memories you thought were gone, yet they still quietly drain your strength. I see them all. I see the places in your heart that once shattered, And I am going there not to reopen the past, but to heal it. I am not afraid of your darkness, nor repelled by your shame. It is precisely there that I desire to shine my light. My child, do not block me with the walls you have built to protect yourself. You do not need to be strong before me. You do not need to pretend to be fine. Let me see your tears, for in those tears I see the part of your soul that longs to live again. Let me touch the place where you hurt, for only when I touch it can the wound truly heal. You have tried to mend yourself by burying the pain, by keeping busy, by smiling through it, but none of those bring peace. Only when you let go, only when you whisper, I need, you will, my restorative power flow freely. I am replacing fear with peace. I am trading shame for honor. I am turning loss into purpose. And you will see little by little the burdens upon your shoulders begin to lift. The things that once made you weep will become testimonies of grace. The memories that once broke you will transform into declarations of victory. For restoration does not mean forgetting, it means being healed so deeply that the memory no longer wounds. You have asked me, how can I believe that good will come again when I have been disappointed so many times? My child, remember the spring that follows winter. There is no death without the promise of life, no ending that does not conceal a beginning. What seems to vanish is only making room for what is new. When I say be restored, it is not a suggestion, it is a creative command. Just as when I said, let there be light, and light came forth, so when I declare, you will be healed, all creation aligns to fulfill that word. You may not realize that what you are enduring is the very foundation for coming grace. When you lose, I am teaching you the value of what is true. When you are rejected, I am removing you from what is unworthy of you. When you feel alone, I am calling you back into intimate fellowship with me. And when you feel forgotten, I am hiding you not to abandon but to prepare. Restoration takes time, because what I am building in you must endure through every season. Let me lead you through this process. Do not rush it. I do not wish to heal the surface alone. I am restoring the roots. A house cannot stand unless its foundation is secure. Likewise, your soul cannot live freely if deep wounds remain buried. That is why I am working deeper than you realize. Every time you feel heavy, I am lifting away the old. Every time you feel weak, my strength fills you. Every time you feel empty, I am making space for the new abundance. I do not measure you by success or failure, but by willingness. I do not demand perfection. I ask for faithfulness, faithful to trust me amid confusion, faithful to pray through silence, faithful to walk when you cannot see the path. It is this faithfulness that becomes the material I use to build your season of restoration. For my child, I do not restore to bring back what was. I restore to give what is better. One day you will look back and understand, without those dark days, you would never have known the brilliance of light. Without those tears, you would never have grasped the depth of joy. Without my silence, you would never have learned to recognize my voice. Everything had its purpose. Each wound was a lesson, each tear a seed, each fall a step closer to strength. So do not wait for restoration as a distant result. Live within it as a present process. Let each day be a step toward healing. When you rise, know that I am working. When you rest, believe that I am still moving. Everything I do is to lead you toward the wholeness I intended from the very beginning. And when the appointed time comes, what I have prepared will shine in fullness. You will no longer merely survive, you will overflow. You will not just be mended, you will be reborn. The deserts will bloom into gardens. The prayers that once seemed lost will become songs of victory. And then you will no longer ask, why did I have to go through this? You will whisper, thank you, Lord, for bringing me through. I love you with an unchanging love. I have not called you merely to survive the storm, but to become a living testimony of my faithfulness. Walk forward in trust, for the season of restoration has already been completed within your spirit, and now I am leading you into the season of revelation, where every promise is fulfilled, where everything I have sown in silence will bloom gloriously before your eyes. My beloved child, the time has come for what I placed within you to be revealed. The season of unveiling is here. No longer is it a time for hiding or remaining silent, but the moment when I lift the veil and let my light shine through you. Everything I have planted in your days of solitude, every lesson forged in the fires of testing, now they are being displayed. My child, I did not let you walk through those long years in vain. Every moment became the foundation for this very hour. All this time you thought I was silent, but in truth, I was working in the dark. Remember, the seed must rest unseen beneath the soil before it can break forth. No one notices the life stirring beneath the surface, but I do. And in the same way, during the years when you felt forgotten, I was rewriting your destiny. I inscribed your name into my plan and planted within you seeds of influence, power, and light. And now I am saying, rise up, not merely to live, but to shine, not merely to be restored, but to become a witness to my glory. My child, I have prepared you for this very moment. Every delay, every trial, every fall, every rejection, they were never random. They were part of the process. I did not only want you to carry healed wounds, I wanted you to bear the marks of victory. For no one can speak of restoration more powerfully than one who has been restored. No one can testify of my faithfulness like one who has walked through the night and seen the dawn. The season of revelation is not the reward of perfection, it is the fruit of faithfulness. Look around you, my child. I am doing something new. I am opening doors you could never open on your own. I am connecting you with people you have never met yet. They have been prepared by my hand to walk beside you. I am moving you out of narrow places into spacious ground where your voice and influence will carry farther than ever before. You once thought yourself too small, but I tell you this, in the small I reveal my greatness. When I chose David, he was only a shepherd. When I chose Moses, he was a fugitive. Yet through those who seemed ordinary, I displayed extraordinary power. And you, my child, are no different. The season of revelation does not come to glorify you, but to glorify me through you. Remember, this true glory is not in being seen, but in making me known through your life. I am not lifting you up so that you forget where you came from, but so you can testify to my mercy. What you are about to step into is not merely blessing, it is mission. I am placing a torch in your hands to light dark places. I am opening your mouth to speak words of healing to broken souls. I am putting in your hands the power to touch lives that need awakening. Do not fear when light begins to shine upon you. Do not shrink back when I begin to use you in ways you never imagined. I know you have grown accustomed to the shadows, to hiding, in order to avoid pain. But now I call you out not to frighten you, but to show you how strong you truly are when I am with you. When you walk, my light will go before you. When you speak, my words will flow through your lips. When you act, my hand will move through yours. And the world will know that I am alive because they will see me in you. My child, I did not choose you because you were perfect, but because you were willing. I do not use the strong, I use the surrendered. You have endured enough pain to understand compassion, enough trials to remain humble, enough loss to cherish grace. That is why I trust you with greater responsibility. When I look at you, I do not see a fragile soul. I see a humble warrior, one who has learned that true victory does not come from strength but from walking with me. You will begin to see the promises I made unfolding before you, not as distant words but as present reality. I am restoring your name, but in a far greater way, not for your praise but for my glory. I am opening your eyes to see what you have never seen before, that the challenges of the past did not delay your blessing, they positioned it for the perfect time. Every delay was alignment, every loss was preparation, every silence was an invitation to listen more deeply to me. This is your hour, but it is also mine. The hour when my plan, long nurtured in secret, will begin to reveal itself through you. You will no longer ask when, because you are living in now. I am changing your rhythm, from waiting to walking, from asking to acting, from hoping to fulfilling. You will see grace flow like a river, flooding even the driest parts of your life, watering the forgotten soil until it blossoms again. Go forth, my beloved. The veil has lifted. Shine, for your light has come, and my glory is rising upon you. My child, prepare yourself. Keep your heart pure, for I am doing a swift work. Let your faith not merely rest upon your lips, but take deep root within your soul. Do not fear change, it is only the sign of progress. Just as a flower must open to reveal its beauty, so must you open your heart for the light to be revealed. I am bringing you out from hidden places into the open, not to expose you to harm, but to cause you to shine. And when that moment comes, the whole world will see that nothing is impossible with me. My beloved child, when my light begins to shine upon you, you will see that not only the good will be revealed, but also the parts still unrefined. Light does not only exalt, it purifies. It shines into the unseen corners of your heart, compelling you to face yourself in complete truth. And that is what I desire for you, to learn how to stand in the light without pride, to walk among success without drifting away from me. When glory comes, my child, do not let your heart be intoxicated by the applause of men. Remember that every cheer fades, but my presence endures forever. Everything I give is not for you to boast about, but to serve with. Glory is not a reward, it is a responsibility. The light that shines through you is not meant to make you admired, but to make me known. If you keep this truth in your heart, that light will not blind you. It will make you radiant in the right way. In this season of revelation, you will face new tests, not the trials of lack, but of abundance, not of rejection, but of recognition. And in those moments, your heart must remain anchored in me, for sometimes success can damage the soul faster than failure. When you are lifted up, bow lower. When you are seen, remember that I am the source of that light. You are not the sun, you are the mirror. The light does not originate from you, it shines through you from me. Learn from the saints of old. Joseph kept humility upon the throne. David still bowed before me, though he ruled a nation. Daniel continued to pray daily, even when power could have made him proud. These understood that glory without humility is a robe that easily catches fire. So, my child, when you are lifted, do not forget to kneel. When you see great things, do not lose the smallness of heart. When I bless you with much, remember that I am the giver of all. I know that when the light comes, so will the noise of the world. Some will praise you. Others will question, criticize, or misunderstand what I am doing to you. They will measure you by their standards, try to define you by their limits. But you, my child, were not born to live by the definitions of others. You were chosen to live by my purpose. Do not let the voices of men become your compass. Let my spirit alone be your guide. When you fix your ear upon my voice, all others will lose their power. In this season of revelation, I do not only want you to be seen, I want you to be steadfast. Light only shines rightly when it rests upon a firm foundation. I am not sending you into the world to crumble under the weight of attention. That is why I have refined you in hiddenness, so that when the light comes, you will not be shaken. Let your roots grow deep in me, like a tree planted by streams of water, evergreen, whether under sun or storm. Do not fear the light, my child, but do not mistake it for the destination. It is a tool through which I complete my purpose. The light that shines through you is not meant to make you stand out, it is meant to guide others who are lost. When you speak, your words will awaken sleeping souls. When you act, your kindness will melt the ice around hardened hearts. When you walk, you will carry the fragrance of heaven into desolate places. I know there will be times when you grow weary of the weight of this calling, times when you long to return to hiddenness, to lay down the role I've placed upon you. But remember this, my child, you are not called to perfection, only to faithfulness. I do not expect you to be strong at every moment. I only ask that you keep clinging to me. When you are weak, I will be your strength. When you lose direction, I will be your compass. When fear surrounds you, I will be your refuge. Do not be afraid of failing, for my grace is sufficient to raise you again, and when praise comes, give all glory back to me. For the more you give, the more I will pour out. The lower you bow, the higher I will lift you. Do not hold on to the light as though it were yours, for that is how it dims. Let it flow through you, and you will never run dry. A river never runs out because it keeps flowing. So too, the more you give, the more I will fill you. My child, this is the lesson of the season of revelation, to stand in the light without forgetting the darkness that taught you to believe, to hold glory in your hands, yet keep a servant's heart, to see more of the world, and yet hear more clearly the whisper of my Spirit. When you live this way, you will become unshakable. The light will cease to be a burden, it will become your source of life. Therefore, beloved, walk with the feet of humility, with the eyes of faith, and with the heart of love. Let everything you do be a reflection of me. And when the world sees the light in you, they will not praise you, they will glorify the one who lives within you. My beloved child, this season of revelation is not merely the time when light shines from you, it is when you begin to move in the true power of my Spirit. This is no longer the season of standing back and watching me work. It is the hour for you to walk with me as a companion of the Holy Spirit. I do not only want you to believe that I can do the miraculous, I want you to know that I will do the miraculous through you. My child, the days of hiding are over. I have prepared you for this hour not to stand behind, but to stand in the midst of the battlefield of faith. Not to keep silent, but to speak the words of life. Not to wait passively, but to act boldly in faith. I have given you authority to bind and to loose, to declare truth in a world that drifts away. Do not fear your smallness, for you were made in my image, and my breath lives in you. When you speak my words, all of heaven listens. When you pray according to my will, angels move. When you walk in faith, darkness trembles. Do not think that I have called you merely to be saved. I have called you to be sent. There is a mission awaiting you, not in some distant future, but right now. You are no longer a spectator of glory. You are the bearer of it. The words I have placed within your heart are not just for comfort, but for fire. You are called to be a lamp that shines, to stand in the midst of a wandering generation and proclaim, "This is the way, walk in it." I know your hesitation. I know the voice within that says you are not enough, that you lack what is needed. But my child, I have never required your sufficiency, only your willingness. For when you are weak, my strength is made perfect. When you feel powerless, that is when my grace is most at work. Do not wait until you think you are ready, for none of my servants began from perfection. Abraham doubted, Moses feared, Jonah fled, and Peter denied me. Yet each one was used mightily because they turned back when I called. So too with you. My child, what I require is not your perfection, but your obedience. As you walk in my will, you will see my power begin to move in ways you have never known. Doors once shut will swing open. Strangers will become allies I have ordained. Dry places will bloom again. Prayers once thought forgotten will bear fruit in this season. And you will understand that it was never because of your performance, but because of my faithfulness. But remember this, my child, power is not the goal, it is the means. I give you power so that you may love more deeply, forgive more freely, endure more patiently, and live more humbly. If you use power and forget love, that power becomes hollow. But if you operate in love, everything you do will carry the fragrance of heaven. I do not desire miracles only from your hands, but miracles from your heart, healing through kindness, redemption through patience, transformation through compassion. When I speak of revelation, I am not only speaking of what is outward. True revelation begins within when you see yourself through my eyes. You no longer measure yourself by your past or by others. You come to know who you truly are, a child of God, chosen, loved, and anointed. And when you see yourself rightly, you will begin to see others through grace. You will judge less and understand more. You will envy less and encourage more. You will compete less and build together more. That is the reflection of heaven within you, not merely light, but heart. I will open your eyes to see farther, not just what lies before you, but the potential within every soul you encounter. You will realize that no one is beyond hope, no one too far to redeem. You will understand that my work is not confined to the church, but moves through the marketplace, the classroom, the family, and every breath of daily life. Wherever you go, there I am. You will carry the essence of my kingdom into the world like salt, preserving what is decaying like light, driving back the darkness. My child, remember, the brighter the light, the more attention it draws from the darkness. When I bring you forth, the winds will rise. But do not fear. I have built within you the endurance of stone. No weapon can destroy what I have established. The enemy may roar, but it cannot touch your soul. When fear whispers, answer with my word. When discouragement presses in, stand on my promises. And when joy seems stolen, lift your eyes and remember, my joy is your strength. Now I say to you, step out, my chosen one. Rise and walk in the authority I have given you. Speak when I command, act when I stir your heart, love when I move your spirit. Do not wait for human approval, for I have already affirmed you. Do not wait for someone to clear the path, for I am the way. Do not fear losing direction, for I am the light to your path. And as you go, remember, you are never alone. I go before you, I walk beside you, and I dwell within you. What you are living today is only the beginning of what I will do. Everything I whispered in the dark will soon resound in the light. Every hidden prayer will become a song of triumph. Every tear will become the rain that waters your coming harvest. And one day, when you look back, you will see that not a single step was wasted, not a single wound without purpose, not a single season without meaning. It all led you to this moment when the light within you begins to shine upon the world. My child, I have not called you merely to shine, but to keep the flame alive. Nurture it through prayer, through silence, through gratitude. Do not let the work replace the relationship. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my whisper. Let everything you do begin from the quiet place where it is just you and me. For there I will renew you, strengthen you, and keep the light in you ever fresh. And now I declare you are a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. Matthew 5:1-4. That light, my child, no longer belongs only to you. It belongs to a world in need of illumination. Step out, stand firm, shine brightly, for your season of revelation has come, and through you, my glory will be seen. My beloved, I do not say these things to make you afraid, but to prepare you. You have entered the season of refining fire, the season in which I allow holy flames to touch your life, not to consume, but to purify. I do not lead you through fire to destroy, but to define you. For fire does not destroy true gold, it burns away the dross, leaving only what is pure. There are things that can only be revealed through fire. There are motives, emotions, and beliefs that can only be tested to reveal what is genuine. The fire of my spirit comes not to wound, but to prove the nature of your faith. As 1 Peter 1:7 says, "The testing of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tried by fire, will result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed." Your faith must be refined, not so that I may learn who you are, for I already know, but so that you may discover how deeply you have been anchored in me. You ask me, "Why, Lord? After I have been restored, after I have seen the light, why do you allow me to walk through fire again?" My child, it is precisely because you have been restored that you must now be strengthened. Restoration helps you rise, but refinement through fire helps you stand firm. There is no flame I do not control, no wind I do not permit. You may see a raging blaze, but I see my own hand upon the heat. I know exactly how intense the fire must be to purify, and when to stop it so that it does not destroy you. You once prayed, "Lord, use me," and I heard you. But before I can use you, I must refine you. Not because I doubt your ability, but because I love you too much to send you forth while your heart still carries the very things that could make you fall. I must remove misplaced confidence, hidden fears, buried pride, and unresolved wounds. Everything that could steer you away from my will. Fire is my instrument to do that. It does not destroy you, it frees you. My child, I know the fire hurts. I know there are nights when you collapse and wonder if you have the strength to go on. But I say to you, do not be afraid, for I am in the fire with you. Just as I was with the 3 young men in Nebuchadnezzar's furnace, they were bound and thrown into the flames. Yet when the king looked, he saw 4 walking unharmed, and the 4th looked like the Son of God. Do you see, I did not extinguish the fire, I entered it with them. In the same way, I do not promise to spare you from every flame, but I promise that the flame will not consume you. It will only burn away the cords that have bound you. I allow the fire because I know you are ready. You are no longer a fragile seed beneath the soil. You are a young tree that needs the wind to strengthen its roots. My fire does not wither your soul, it fortifies it. As you pass through these trials, you will find that your faith no longer depends on emotion, circumstance, or the opinions of others. It becomes deeper, steadier, and stronger, like a rock unmoved by the storm. Through the fire, you will learn what no teacher can explain, what is true, and what is only echo. You will realize that true faith is not measured by words, but by endurance when nothing is left to hold on to. And when you keep believing in the midst of the flames, you are building a kind of strength that nothing can break, the strength of absolute trust. My child, when I test you through fire, do not think I am withdrawing. On the contrary, I am nearer than ever. It is in the moments when you feel abandoned that I am doing my deepest work. Like a silversmith who sits before the flame, eyes fixed on the metal, he never lets the fire burn beyond what is needed, for he knows that too much heat will ruin the silver. I am the same. My eyes never leave you. I know the precise moment you are ready, and when I see my own reflection in you, I will quench the fire. Do not pray for me to take the fire away. Pray that you may be purified within it. Do not flee from the process, for it is the very process that is transforming you into who you were destined to be. Every burn will become a mark of faith. Every crack will become a place where my light shines through. Every time you fall and rise again, heaven writes another line in the story of your victory. And my child, when the fire has passed, you will not be the same. You will no longer tremble before trials. You will no longer waver at the voices of men. You will no longer live by fleeting emotions, but by the certainty that I alone am your foundation. You will no longer fear the fire, you will carry it. The fire of faith, of hope, of divine love that nothing can extinguish. For what I am doing is not only refining you, I am igniting you. When you have passed through the fire, you will become a beacon to those still in darkness. You will comfort others with the same comfort you have received from me. You will lift up the weary with the strength you found in the furnace. And when they ask, "How did you stand in such fire?" You will smile and say, "Because I did not walk alone, the one who walked with me in the fire is still here." My child, do not fear this season of fire. Welcome it as a blacksmith welcomes his forge, for he knows that only through the flame can metal become sharp and strong. I am shaping you for a greater purpose. I am preparing you not just to witness glory, but to carry it. And one day you will understand that the fire did not come to burn you, but to reveal my light through you. My beloved child, the fire you are walking through is not meant to weaken you, but to unveil what is strongest within you. You were never created to collapse in the fire, but to shine within it. Every spark I allow to touch your life carries purpose. No pain is wasted, no trial random. I am the Lord of every process, and my fire always leads back to glory. There are virtues that can only be born in the flame. Patience is not forged in comfort. Faith does not grow in ease. Hope is not shaped in abundance. They are born in the dark, in the wilderness, in the moments you kneel and whisper, "I can't go on." And it is then that I say, "You can, because I am here." When you are weak, my strength overflows. When you think you have no breath left, I give you mine. When you think the fire will consume you, I turn it into light for your path. My fire does not simply destroy what is false, it awakens what is true. Like gold in the furnace, only when melted does its true worth appear. I do not test you to see if you are worthy, you have already been justified by grace. I test you so that you may know how strong you are in me. The fire only reveals what already exists. You are not as fragile as you believe, you have simply not yet been tested to the measure I ordained for your strength to emerge. Do you remember Abraham? When I asked him to offer Isaac, it was not to take his son away, but to perfect his faith. The fire of that test revealed that his love for me was greater than the gift I had given him. And when he laid his son upon the altar I did not take, I returned, but at a higher level, no longer a bond of flesh, but a covenant of promise. Likewise, when I test you, I do not strip you, I elevate you. I take away what is temporary to give what is eternal. I remove what limits you to make room for what is boundless. My child, look at every trial through the eyes of faith, not fear. When I allow something to burn away, it is because I know it does not belong to you in the new season I am bringing. When I allow loss, it is not punishment, it is protection. I am separating you from what could hold you captive to the past. I am clearing the path for what is better, for divine connections, new opportunities and assignments you have yet to imagine. Do not ask, "Why me, Lord?" Instead ask, "What do you want me to learn through this?" The first question will drain you. The second will open your vision. Fire becomes your ally when you can say amen within it. When you no longer resist but surrender, the fire changes its purpose from consuming to cleansing, from pain to glory. It is in surrender that you enter the fullness of my power. For I can only fill what is empty. I can only build what is willing to be dismantled. You must understand this. My child, fire is my language. It is how I speak to the world about what is worth keeping. When I send fire, it is not to condemn, but to reveal true value. Everything I touch with fire is transformed. Moses stood before a bush that burned, yet was not consumed, for my presence was in that flame. What made the bush burn and not be destroyed was that I was there. Likewise, what enables you to stand firm in your trial is not your strength, but my presence within you. And you will see when you pass through the fire and are not destroyed, the world around you will know me. They will look at you and say, "How did this one remain standing?" And you will answer, "Because in the fire I met him." That is the true purpose of the flame, to turn trials into testimonies. No longer a story of pain, but a song of victory. No longer scars, but evidence of grace. No longer loss, but living proof that I am still at work. My beloved, I do not want you merely to survive the fire. I want you transformed by it, so that when you emerge, you carry not the scent of smoke, but the fragrance of heaven. When you speak, your words will carry the weight of experience and refining. When you pray, heaven will tremble, for your words will not rise from untested lips, but from a heart melted and reborn in my presence. The prayers of those refined by fire carry power because they are spoken not from the mind, but from the depths of a heart that has known breaking and healing. Do not run from the fire, my child. Do not beg me to extinguish it too soon, lest the most precious part remain unformed. I do not promise that the fire will be comfortable, but I promise it will be fruitful. I do not promise you will not weep, but I promise your tears will water the field of future glory. I do not promise you will not tremble, but I promise my hand will steady you so that you do not fall. As you walk through this season, remember, you are not being burned, you are being forged. Every cry that escapes your lips is the sound of metal being shaped. Every touch of flame is proof that you are being molded into a vessel fit for holy purpose. And when this season ends, you will not be the same. You will stand firmer, love deeper, and believe stronger. Therefore, my child, lift your head in the midst of the flame. Do not focus only on the fire. See the one who stands within it. Do not dwell on the pain. See the glory being formed. Do not fixate on what was lost. See what is about to be born. I am rewriting your story with fire, not to destroy, but to make it shine. And when this chapter ends, the world will see that the flame did not consume you, it made you radiant. My beloved child, when the fire fades and the ashes cool, look around you are no longer who you were. Everything in you has been reborn. You no longer tremble before trials, no longer doubt. My promises no longer seek me, only in peace, but find me even in pain. You have passed through the fire, and it did not destroy you, it recreated you. You emerge not empty-handed, but with hands that glow, bearing the marks of the holy flame I placed within you. What I am doing is not restoring you to what you were, but recreating you entirely. I have not merely repaired your soul, I have breathed new life into it. Everything in you that once feared, once faltered, once fell, has been burned away in my flame. What remains is true, unshakable, and free. I have stripped away the shells you mistook for strength but were really chains, and now you are free, free to love, to believe, to live, to burn. Do you know why I allowed the fire, my child? Because I did not want you merely to escape the darkness, I wanted you to become the light within it. Fire is not just a test, it is a seal of calling. All whom I use must pass through the flame, so that when they speak of grace, they speak from experience, not theory. When they pray, heaven listens, for those are the cries of hearts forged in the furnace. When they touch others, those people feel the warmth of mercy, because those hands have known pain. I have turned the fire that once made you weep into the fire that will make you shine. You once asked, when will this fire end? And I was silent, not because I ignored you, but because I was working my deepest miracle in that silence. Now you understand that every moment in the fire was part of the wonder. Not a single second was wasted. Every wound shed a layer, every tear planted a seed, and today those seeds have blossomed. Look at your hands. My child, they are no longer bound, but anointed. Look into your eyes, no longer filled with fear, but burning with faith. Look into your heart, no longer bitter, but overflowing with mercy. You are no longer one who merely passed through the fire. You are one who carries it. You carry the strength of perseverance, the kindness of one forgiven, the faith of one redeemed. That is why you can stand before the world and say, I was in the fire and I saw him there. I say to you, use this fire. Do not let it fade. Do not keep it for yourself. Let it blaze through your words, your life, your love. Draw near to the cold and warm them with your presence. Come to the fearful and tell them, fire is not meant to kill, it is meant to give birth. Use your story to awaken sleeping faith in others. For now you are no longer a victim, you are a messenger. My child, I have placed within you the fire of resurrection. It is not a flame of wrath, but of revelation. Not to destroy, but to illuminate. Not to consume, but to comfort. I call this flame holy fire, for it comes from me, and will lead you to where I have destined you to go. It will never die, as long as you remain in me. Nurture it through prayer, through stillness, through gratitude, and through acts of love. My child, when you meet souls walking through their own fire, do not rush to extinguish the flames for them. Take their hand and say, "You will not be destroyed." Teach them to see me in the midst of the fire, just as you once did, for that vision will make them strong. The purpose of fire is not isolation, but connection. Those who have been refined carry within them a fragment of light, and when those lights meet, the world will be illuminated. The season of fire does not end in ashes, it ends in resurrection. When you think all has been lost, that is when life begins anew. I am the God of the risen. I never allow the story to close in darkness. As Joseph was imprisoned but released to save a nation, as David was hunted but anointed to reign, as Jesus was laid in the tomb but rose again to bring life to all humanity, so will you, my child, rise from the fire. And from where you stand, my light will go forth to the ends of the earth. When I look upon you now, I no longer see one who trembles, but a warrior who has been forged. I no longer see a soul that needs comfort, but a lamp burning for this generation. You have become the proof that my fire does not destroy, it renews. Therefore I declare from this day you will carry this flame wherever you go. My child, step out, do not fear. Do not look back at the ashes, for your best days are not behind you. They are unfolding before you. You have been prepared, refined, and chosen. And now I speak to you, as I once spoke to Jeremiah. I have put my words in your mouth. Today I appoint you over nations and kingdoms to uproot and tear down, to destroy and overthrow, to build and to plant. Jeremiah 1:9-10. The fire within you will uproot lies, break chains, and ignite hope in the darkness. My beloved, a new season has begun. After passing through the flames, I see your soul gleaming like purified gold. This is no longer a time of tears, but of renewal. The old has passed away, and I am doing something new. As I spoke in Isaiah 43:19, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth, do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. My child, open your heart, for today I am opening that way for you. You have endured a season of drought, and now I am sending both the early and the latter rain. You have walked through silence, and now my voice will resound within you, clearer, deeper, stronger. I am renewing your mind so that you will no longer see as before. You will see the same places but with new light, the same journey but with new meaning, the same people but through eyes filled with grace. My child, renewal is not merely the restoration of what was, it is the creation of what has never been. I am not rebuilding your old self. I am forming a new one, softer in spirit, sharper in discernment, wider in vision to perceive the heavenly. You will no longer look through fear, but through trust. You will no longer ask why, but what are you doing through this, Lord? True renewal does not happen in circumstances. It happens in perception. I am teaching you to see what cannot be seen with natural eyes. Look through the eyes of the Spirit, not the flesh. When I say, be transformed by the renewal of your mind, it is not a suggestion, it is an invitation. For everything I am about to do begins within you. I am rewriting your thought patterns, breaking the molds the world imposed, and sowing in you the vision of my kingdom. I am teaching you to think as one who is sent, to act as one anointed, and to walk as one who knows to whom they belong. In this season of renewal, let me touch your mind, for that is where every victory and defeat begins. If you believe yourself small, you will act small. But if you know that I dwell within you, you will act as one who carries heaven's authority. You are no longer a victim of the past, but a builder of the present. You are no longer bound by fear, but led by faith. You no longer live in limitation, but in divine vision. I am opening your eyes to see the greater tapestry. What you once thought random, you will now see as divine design. Every meeting, every delay, every loss, all woven into my intricate plan. No step of yours was wasted. No tears were meaningless. Every moment is a golden thread I am using to weave the fabric of your destiny. My beloved, I am placing within you a new vision. It will stir your heart and awaken your spirit. But remember, vision is not given to make you admired, but to make you available for my glory. I do not grant vision so you may build monuments to yourself, but so you may build bridges for others to encounter me. When I give vision, I do not just grant a goal, I entrust a responsibility. And with that responsibility, I also supply the power to fulfill it. My child, vision always begins in stillness. It does not come through thunder or spectacle, but in that sacred moment when you whisper, "Lord, I am listening." When you silence the noise, you will hear what I have long been saying. For vision is not something newly created, it is something ancient, revealed at its appointed time. I am not rewriting your life, I am unveiling what has been written from the beginning. You once thought you were starting over, but truly you are stepping into the next chapter of a plan that has never paused. Not for a single moment have I removed my hand from your life. When you wandered, I guided you. When you were silent, I spoke. When you stopped believing, I remained faithful. And now that your spirit has been refined, I can reveal greater things, truths that were always there, but awaited a heart ready to receive. I speak to you now. Write the vision and engrave it upon the tablets of your heart so that when you run, you do not lose your way. Habakkuk 2:2. For the appointed time has come. Everything I promised will begin to move. But remember, vision does not flourish through haste, but through endurance. Not by human strength, but by my spirit. When you hold the vision with steadfast faith, it will grow like a seedling bursting into bloom in springtime. I will speak to you in ways you have never heard, through people, through circumstance, through dreams, and through the quiet voice within. But however I speak, my word will bear one mark: peace. Whatever does not bring peace, know it is not from me. In this season of renewal, peace will be your compass and vision your guiding light. My child, this is not only a new season, it is a transformation of your entire being. I am not merely renewing what you do, I am renewing who you are. Every thought, every motive, every dream is being touched by my hand. And you will see everything begins to change, not because life suddenly improves, but because you now see through the eyes of heaven. My beloved, when I give you a vision, I do not want you only to see it, I want you to step into it. Vision is not a picture to admire, it is a path to walk. It is not meant to stir emotion, but to awaken movement. Yet this movement must not be driven by haste or ambition, but by the quiet obedience of one who lets me go first and follows my pace, my beloved child. The vision I have entrusted to you cannot be fulfilled by human strength. It is not sustained by strategy, but by relationship. For I did not call you to work for me, I called you to work with me. The difference is profound. When you work for me, you may grow weary, striving according to your own understanding. But when you work with me, you are renewed, for you move in the rhythm of my spirit. I never meant for you to bear the weight of completing the vision. I only ask you to walk beside me one step at a time. There are things I will reveal to you now, and others I will keep for their appointed time. Do not be impatient when understanding does not come immediately. Do not mistake my silence for distance. I am teaching you to trust my timing, my process, and my way. When you cannot see the full picture, resist the urge to guess. Simply walk with me step by step. My light is not meant to illuminate the whole road at once, it shines upon the next step before you. I have spoken. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. Psalm 119:105. A lamp does not shine far ahead, it gives just enough light for one step, but every step taken in faith reveals the next. This is how I teach you to live, not in speculation but in continual trust. My child, I know you long to see results quickly, to know when the vision will be fulfilled, when the dream will blossom. But I say to you, do not rush. The seed of vision must take time to root. If it grows too soon, the wind will topple it. But if its roots go deep, no storm can uproot it. Let the vision be nourished in stillness, through prayer, through faith, and through steadfast waiting. I am teaching you the art of active waiting, not waiting in despair, but waiting in preparation. Remember this, the vision is not merely something I do through you. It is something I do in you. Before you build anything outwardly, I will build within you. If I desire to expand your influence, I will first enlarge your heart. If I want you to carry my light to many, I will soften your spirit so that love can flow freely. If I call you to lead, I will first teach you to serve. I never place glory upon an unrefined foundation. So let me continue. My work for you, do not resist the process. My beloved, in this season I will teach you to partner with me in the smallest details. When you prepare, pray. When you speak, listen. When you act, move in rhythm with me. Never separate the work from my presence. If I am not in the midst of it all, you will remain human effort. But if I am at the center, even the smallest act will carry the weight of heaven. There will be times I lead you through paths no one has walked before. I will take you to places unmapped by human wisdom, to teach you to live by guidance rather than experience. You will sometimes feel lost, but in your lostness, you will learn to hear my voice more clearly. When you lose your bearings, peace will become your compass. And when you stand at a crossroads, do not decide by logic, decide by the stillness in your heart. For my spirit never pushes, he leads through peace. And my child, when I begin to unfold the vision in your life, there will be those who do not understand. Some will doubt, some will mock, some will call you a dreamer. Do not waste your breath defending yourself. Vision does not need to be explained, it needs to be lived. Let the fruit speak when the season comes. When harvest time arrives, the results will testify that I have spoken. Know this, every vision must endure testing. Every promise must pass through the furnace before it can stand. Not because I wish to make it hard for you, but because I must ensure you are strong enough to carry what I am about to give. If vision is the flame, then trial is the fuel. They do not oppose each other. They cooperate to bring forth my glory. Do not fear when the vision seems too great. If it doesn't make you tremble, it is not from me. For the vision I give always stretches beyond your ability, so that you must depend entirely on me. Do not shrink the dream to fit your reach. Allow faith to stretch your reach to fit the dream. I declare to you, not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord of hosts. Zechariah 4:6. Therefore do not worry that you are not strong enough, wise enough, or ready enough. True strength does not come from you, it comes from me. All I ask is that your mind remain yielded, your heart humble, and your steps steady, and I will handle the rest. My child, this is the season of companionship, not of striving. Let me be the heartbeat behind every action. Let me be the wind in every step. Let me be the fire behind every word. And as you live this way, the vision will no longer feel like a burden, it will flow as naturally as love itself. For you are no longer merely the carrier of the vision, you are the living vision. Everything you do, speak, and touch will become evidence of my presence on the earth. And the world will know one who walks with me can never lose their way, my beloved. The vision is not merely the path you walk, it is the harmony between your mind and my eternal intent. In this stage, you no longer need to chase the vision, for you have become part of it. Everything I have spoken, every dream I have planted, every prayer you have whispered now converges in the current of my spirit. It is no longer you and me, but I in you, and you in me. You have learned that true renewal does not come by striving harder, but by surrendering deeper. When you stop straining to control, I begin to move. When you cease forcing outcomes, I cause fruit to bloom. When you stop worrying about how I will do it, I reveal the beauty of my grace unfolding naturally. For the vision is not a burden to carry, it is the breath of heaven flowing through you. My beloved child, I am making the vision alive. It is no longer confined to paper or bound within promises. It is moving through your every action, your every word, your every step. When you love, the vision breathes. When you forgive, the vision expands. When you remain faithful in the small things, the vision grows. And when you keep peace in the midst of storms, the vision is established in power. As the vine and its branches, you cannot bear fruit on your own, but when you remain in me, fruit comes naturally. I do not ask you to produce what I have already promised. I ask you to abide, for whoever abides in me and I in him will bear much fruit. John 1:5-5. That is the secret of all spiritual fruitfulness, abiding. Abide in me when you see nothing. Abide when the vision seems delayed. Abide when the world mocks, when others misunderstand, when you feel alone. For in your abiding I am working quietly, yet surely. My beloved, now I am aligning you so deeply with my purpose that your will no longer opposes mine, it moves in harmony with it. When you speak, your words will echo my heart. When you act, I will reveal myself through you. When you pray, I will not need to correct your words, for your spirit will already resonate with mine. This is the summit of spiritual maturity, not when you have all the answers, but when you trust me, even in silence. Remember, my child, true vision is not about success, it is about faithfulness. The world measures by outcome, but I measure by endurance. I do not seek the perfect. I seek those who do not quit when they see no reward. And you, my child, have walked through the fire, learned to step in darkness, and chosen faith when you did not understand. Therefore I now call you faithful. Now I open before you new doors. They will not appear loud or dazzling, but hidden within what seems small and ordinary. I will use you as an instrument in my hand, not to perform what the world calls great, but to sow eternal seeds. Every word you speak in love will plant life into another soul. Every act of compassion will soften a hardened heart. Every quiet prayer will shift the atmosphere around you. Walk gently, but with resolve. Do not chase the vision as though it were distant. Live inside it as though it is unfolding today. For truly I say to you, the season of fulfillment is drawing near. The seeds you sowed in tears will bloom in songs of joy. The whispered prayers will take visible form. And what you once saw only by faith, you will soon see with your eyes. I know you have waited long. I know there were days when you thought the vision had died. But no, my child, it has only been growing in silence. Like a child hidden within the womb, the vision has been maturing within you. Now it is ready to be born. Prepare yourself, for I am moving swiftly. The scattered pieces will suddenly align. The doors once shut will swing open, and you will understand that every delay was divine timing. When what I promised begins to unfold, stay humble. Do not forget that all is by grace, not effort. When others praise you, lift your eyes to heaven. When they ask for your secret, tell them He did it. For I do not seek those who shine, I seek those who reflect. When you reflect me, the vision multiplies, and through you others will begin to hear my voice for themselves. And remember this, my child, the true vision never ends, it keeps unfolding. When one promise is fulfilled, another begins. When one door closes, another opens. Your life will be a continuous river of revelation. I will never stop leading you. Never run out of things to accomplish through you, and never withdraw the grace I placed within you. So live each day as part of the vision. Do not separate ordinary life from divine purpose, for, in my eyes, all is sacred. Every breath, every conversation, every action can be a vessel of my love. Whether you work, rest, serve, or simply listen, let me be in it all. And when you live this way, you will see you are no longer chasing the vision, you are the living vision. Everything I have spoken has become reality. Every promise I have given has found its home within your soul. You are no longer searching for my will, you are living in it. You no longer strain to hear my voice, you are my voice in this world. Beloved, rest in this truth. The season of renewal has been completed, and the season of fulfillment is near. What I began, I will finish. None of my words will fall to the ground. No act of faithfulness from you will be forgotten. Everything is moving toward completion, and I who spoke to you from the beginning will be with you until the end. My dear child, the time has come. Everything I have planted within you, through waiting, through fire, through nights of tears, is now beginning to sprout and blossom. This is not just the season of harvest, it is the season of manifestation, where I make visible what once seemed impossible. You will not need to prove yourself, for I will prove myself through you. Now is the hour when promises turn from theory into living reality. Doors once shut will open. Opportunities that eluded you will come seeking you. People once distant will be divinely positioned to walk beside you. I have arranged it all, time, place, and people, so that every element aligns with my purpose. What once confused you will now make sense. What once wounded you will become the foundation of glory. But before you rush into the light, remember, this fulfillment is not a reward, it is a calling. It is not the end, but the beginning of responsibility. Every blessing you receive is a seed I place in your hands to plant again. I do not fill you so you may hold, I fill you so you may pour. My power is not found in what you keep, but in what you are willing to give. My beloved child, true power is never loud. It does not seek to be seen, does not demand proof, and does not crave the spotlight. It moves quietly like a hidden spring, nourishing the forest from beneath. You will know that my power is at work when you begin to see small things transform, when a word restores hope, when a simple embrace brings healing, when a prayer shifts the very atmosphere. That is my power flowing through you, not to make you great, but to make me known. I know you have waited for this moment a long time. There were times you thought I had forgotten that my promises were illusions. But my child, I have never been late. Every moment of your past was preparation. Every tear you shed was a silent prayer that watered the ground for your harvest, and now that soil is open. I am causing the seed of faith to sprout not partially but completely. Look around you, what was once blocked is now moving. The walls that confined you are crumbling. The doors once sealed shut are swinging open by my hand. For I have spoken, and when I speak, no power can stop it. Yet my child, keep a humble spirit. True power only flows through a surrendered heart. Do not let glory make you forget the nights when darkness taught you to pray. Do not let success make you forget the silence where you wept and called my name. Those nights made you strong. Those tears became the oil upon your head. Now that you walk in power, remember this. Everything I do through you began with what I did in you. The power I give is not for grand words, but for lasting works. I do not seek those who impress, I seek those who influence. True influence is not measured by noise, but by the life of the Spirit flowing within you. When you speak, your words carry weight because they were forged in the fire of prayer. When you touch a soul, they feel genuine love because it is not human affection, but my current flowing through you. Remember, my child, power is not given to help you escape trials, but to transform them. When storms rise, you will not run, you will stand in peace. When the world trembles in fear, you will shine with courage. When others despair, you will sow hope. That is the strength of those who walk in me, not the strength that destroys, but the strength that restores. Be careful, my child. Power tests not only the weak, but the strong. When I place greater weight upon your shoulders, remember, obedience is the foundation of every miracle. If you cease to listen, the flow will dry up. But if you keep your heart soft, I will pour more unceasingly without limit. And now I say to you, it is time to rise, not to seek more, but to reveal what I have already placed within you. Not to persuade, but to live authentically. Not to wait, but to walk. Rise with steadfast faith, for I am moving through you. Speak, and I will stir hearts. Lay hands, and I will heal. Pray, and I will open the heavens. Forgive, and I will shatter chains. Love, and I will cause that love to spread like holy fire. My power is not for the fearful, but for those who dare to believe. And you, my child, are one of them. You were not chosen because you were strong, but because you were willing. I have seen your faithfulness in small things. Now I entrust you with greater ones. I have seen you walk in integrity when no one was watching. Now I will set you in the light, so that my light may be seen through you. But as the light grows, remember, you are not the source of light, you are the lamp. The oil within you comes from me. The flame upon you is mine, and the breath that keeps it burning is my presence within you. As long as you remain in me, your flame will never go out. Step out in courage, child. Do not fear failure, for failure no longer defines you. Do not fear lack, for I am your supply. Do not fear darkness, for you carry my light. Wherever you place your feet, I have already gone before you. Whatever you touch in faith, I will bring to life. For this is the season of fulfillment and the season of power, not power to rule, but to serve. Not the power to exalt yourself, but to lift others. Not power to prove, but to reveal that I live within you. Prepare your spirit, for soon the things you whispered in prayer will be revealed in daylight. You will see miracles in the ordinary, heaven in the simple. You will realize that I am not merely working around you. I am working through you, an unbroken flow of love and power, my beloved. When my power begins to move through, you remember this glory is not only a gift, it is a test. Many long for power, but few are humble enough to hold it. Power without surrender becomes dangerous. Power in the hands of the humble becomes miraculous. I do not grant power so you may be admired, but so I may be exalted through you. Glory. My child is a delicate fire. It can illuminate or consume depending on the posture of your heart. If you direct the light toward me, it will burn brighter. But if you turn it toward yourself, it will fade into ashes. So when the world applauds, lift your eyes upward. When they praise your name, remind them of mine. When they come to you, lead them to the source. Stay small in heart amid great things. When miracles unfold, remember that they come from a God greater than yourself. When the sick are healed, when souls are freed, when lives are transformed, never say, I have done this. Say, God has done this. For the moment you believe the strength is yours, the power withdraws not as punishment, but because I will not let the holy be stolen by pride. True humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking more of me. When you live in that awareness, everything you do becomes sacred. I do not ask you to shrink so others pity you. I ask you to bow your heart so I may lift you in due time. For God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. And that grace is the oil that keeps the fire of power burning without end. In this season I will do great things through you. But be vigilant, for the test of success is harder than the test of suffering. When you hurt, you seek me. But when you are honored, you may forget me. When you were in the pit, you prayed, but in the palace you may grow distracted. I do not want you to lose power the very moment I pour out my blessing. Therefore, return often to stillness, to prayer, to intimacy. There I will renew the oil within you each day. Do not let accomplishment deafen your ears. When the cheers of people grow loud, my whisper becomes harder to hear. Find stillness amidst the noise. Return to the altar of communion. Every public anointing is sustained by private intimacy. Without presence there is no power. Without prayer there is no life. I did not choose you to be noticed, but to be pure. A conduit never keeps the water, it lets it flow through. Keep the stream within you clear, unpolluted by pride, undimmed by selfish ambition, unblocked by fear. When your heart stays pure, the river of life will keep flowing, and through you many will drink and live again. My beloved child, in this season I will send you both praise and criticism. Do not let compliments lift you too high, nor let reproach pull you too low. Keep your heart anchored in me, for neither the one who praises nor the one who condemns holds your destiny. I do. Let not your spirit depend on human reaction. Let it rest in my love, which neither shifts nor fades. Humility. My child, does not weaken you, it makes you unshakable. The proud must prove themselves, but the humble simply abide in me. The proud speak much, but the humble let me speak through them. The proud act by impulse, but the humble wait for my voice, and when I speak, heaven itself moves. That is the secret of true power, the power of surrender. I have said, learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. Matthew 1:1-9. It was in humility that Jesus bore the cross, and upon that cross he conquered the powers of darkness. Therefore do not fear when I teach you to bow low. Every time you stoop to wash another's feet, I am lifting you higher in glory. Every time you choose love over argument, forgiveness over retaliation, service over fame, you are walking in the highest power of my kingdom. When you walk in glory, remember, glory is not only to shine but to reflect. Let your light mirror my kindness, so that when others see you they will not say, "What an extraordinary person," but "How great is the Lord." The purpose of power is never to exalt the vessel, but to return honor to the giver. I know, my child, that you will face many invitations to rely on yourself. But remember this, the power within you comes not from effort but from presence. Do not trade my presence for temporary success. Do not lose my voice in the noise of applause. Keep your heart still, and you will hear me clearer than ever before. When you remain humble amidst power, I will usher you into a higher realm of glory. I only entrust more to those who know how to bow. The lower you go, the higher I lift you. The more you serve, the more I strengthen you. The more you give, the more I pour out. That is the paradox of heaven. The one who humbles himself is the one who is exalted. My beloved, walk gently with hands that hold power, but a heart that stays soft. Let every action become worship and every step mirror my heart. When the world looks at you, may they see me not through the splendor of your appearance, but through the tender authority of the Spirit dwelling within you. My dear child, I am doing something new. The things you once prayed for through tears are beginning to bloom in light. Lands that were barren are sprouting again. Promises that seemed silent are now echoing in reality. This is the season of glory not only for you, but for those around you, for through you I will pour out rivers of grace. I did not bring you through the fire so you could merely survive. I brought you through so you could shine. And that light is not just for yourself, but for those still groping in the dark. Wherever you walk, your steps will carry my imprint. Every word you speak will carry the fragrance of life. Every breath you take will testify that God still moves among humankind. Now I am igniting within you a flame that cannot be extinguished. It will not burn to destroy, but to purify, to illuminate, to rekindle faith in hearts grown cold. I will use you as the first spark of a holy fire spreading from heart to heart, from generation to generation. What I am doing in you is not just for this moment, but for a spiritual lineage waiting to awaken. True glory is not the blinding spotlight, but the gentle glow of my presence within. When I reveal my glory, the world will see miracles, but you will see my love. The world will hear my thunder, but you will hear my whisper. For true glory does not dwell in appearance, but in the union between your spirit and mine. I will make the supernatural become natural. Miracles will no longer be rare, they will be the rhythm of your days. You will speak, and things unseen will come into being. You will pray, and heaven will open. You will lay hands, and healing will flow like a river. Not because you are strong, but because I have chosen you to be a conduit of grace. Do not think this calling is only for those who stand on platforms, for every place your feet touch becomes an altar. When you speak love, you are preaching. When you forgive, you are serving. When you intercede in silence, you are shifting the heavens. Every act born of love is a miracle. Every step taken in faith is a victory. Every word spoken with grace is light triumphing over darkness. I am raising the great out of the small. I am using your quiet prayers to shake fortified walls. I am using your faithfulness in what seems insignificant to build foundations for generations to come. You are not only living for today, you are sowing for eternity. And when I expand your influence, remember, true influence does not come from numbers but from presence. One person standing in me can transform a city. One pure-hearted prayer can move heaven. One act of unconditional love can bring a soul home. Never measure your impact by what you see. Measure it by faith. I am opening new territories, not just in the natural, but in the spiritual. You will be led to places you never imagined, meet people you never expected, and speak words you never knew you could. For I am opening your mouth to speak for me, your hands to act for me, your heart to love for me. And the world will know the living God still walks among his people. My beloved child, remain in me, and let your every breath declare my glory. My beloved child, do not think that this season of glory is the destination. It is only the beginning of something deeper. When you witness a miracle, do not stop at the wonder. Go further into the heart of the one who performs it. When you see grace multiplying, do not rest in the results. Let your heart grow tender still, for there are many souls yet to be touched. When you see my words fulfilled, do not close the book. Open your heart to write the next chapter with me. My child, I have not stopped. I never stop. I am still creating, still pouring out, still breathing life into every hidden place within you. Each morning I make old things new again. With every prayer you utter, I weave another thread into the tapestry of your destiny. And when you live in me, you become part of the ceaseless rhythm of heaven. Believe this, the season of glory has not ended. It will spread wider, grow deeper, shine brighter. It will flow from you to your family, from your family to your community, from your community to your nation. And one day when you look back, you will see that the seemingly small acts you did today became seeds of tomorrow's awakening. Do not fear if the world fails to understand. Do not shrink when the path narrows. Do not doubt when you cannot see ahead. For I am going before you. I am lighting the road you have never walked. I am preparing miracles beyond your imagination, and I will cause the glory of the latter to surpass the former. Haggai 2:9. My beloved, you have come a long way from ashes to glory, from silence to vision, from trial to power. Now I want to lead you into the deepest place of all union. This is no longer the season of doing, but of being. No longer the time for striving, but for abiding. No longer the search for me, but the rest found in the one you have discovered. Be still in me, for in stillness you will hear the breath of heaven. You will realize that I was never far, I have always been within you, in your breath, your heartbeat, in the moments you called ordinary. When you eat, when you work, when you love, when you pray, I am there, not only as the God you worship, but as the life that moves within you. Many seek me in miracles, prophecies, and grand signs, but my child, I am not only in the extraordinary, I am in the simple. I am in the dew upon the leaf, the laughter of a child, the kindness in a gaze, the breath of dawn. I am not distant like the mountain peak, but near like your very breath. When you pause to listen, you will realize my presence has surrounded you all your life. I no longer desire that you merely work for me. I want you to live in me. For when you and I become one, work ceases to be a burden and becomes a natural flow. Every act, every word, every step becomes a reflection of heaven. When you forgive, I am glorified. When you love, I am exalted. When you live with compassion, I am seen. That is fullness, not when you try to be like me, but when you abide in me. Understand this, union is not the erasure of self, but its sanctification. I do not want to erase you. I want to complete you. I do not wish to crush your will. I wish to align it with mine. Then what you desire will no longer oppose what I speak, but beat in the same rhythm. This is perfect peace when there is no more battle between I want and you will, for they have become one. My child, that is why I have led you through so many seasons, not to prove, but